Hey folks, welcome back to another episode of The Locals, where I'm spotlighting courageous entrepreneurs and folks that are deeply rooted in our community that deserve to be highlighted and deserve to have their story told. Joining me today is a local hairstylist, Lena Falco. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Ryan.
I was curious, as we dive into your career, what got you interested in being a hairstylist?
I have quite a few of barbers and hairstyling in my family. It was something that I've always enjoyed doing as a little kid. There was a salon on the corner of where we lived. This was back in Bari, Italy. And after school or after, I would just go in there and sweep their floor and just kind of watch. I have 6 siblings, and my parents moved to a little town in Italy to big Chicago. There was a friend, they owned a salon, and I needed to help the family financially, to help do shampoo and being an assistant for them. And I was like 14 years old at the time and didn't have any English at all.
Wow.
But the owner was an Italian man, so I got it in from there, and everybody was really great and just kind of made me feel comfortable. And the thing that made me the most comfortable is I liked what I was doing. I felt that was my path. 2 years into it, at 16, that I wanted more than just be an assistant.
Right.
I wanted to become a hairdresser, and I needed to be licensed to do that.
Right.
And at that time, I approached my parents with it, but obviously they didn't have the finance to send me to school. I mean, in the 2 years, I made great friendship with customers. I had a beautiful lady. She was helping me with my English. I would share some of my Italian with her, and she made it available where I could actually get scholarship if we qualified financially to go to beauty school, because I needed to do that to be licensed. I got accepted, approached that to my parents. They couldn't say no. And I was like, it'll take me a year. Give me a year with that, and I would financially be able to help even more so by then. At 17, I was fully licensed and had my very first job as a licensed hairdresser on Clark and Fullerton in Chicago, Illinois. And it felt kind of a big shot, working in a big city, taking the bus, and that's where really it all began.
Was it scary at the beginning?
It was scary because I was kind of a quiet,
Introverted
young lady, and it was, but again, I focused on my craft. And I think because I focused on what I love to do, everything else seemed to just kind of be there.
Fall into place.
Honestly, I probably have had some great people in my path that pushed me along and helped me create that. I enjoyed it. I mean, and I still love and enjoy what I do.
This is a community and relationship-based profession. It's all word of mouth. How did you start kind of gaining a client base?
For me, it's customer service. I've always had more of their personal touch.
Which I think is severely lacking nowadays.
Oh, absolutely. It's a shame because the young hairdresser coming out, they're never going to build up a relationship. Somehow, I just care. I want to know about what my client is up to. I want to know what they like. I'd like to be there for their best. I worked in a salon where there was just a couple guys working, and I was a young girl coming in. So of course at the beginning I would do all the odds and ends stuff. But if people got to know me, and I had a boss that didn't show up for work, or he would go for lunch and not come back.
What a leader.
So guess what? I got to do his clients, and once I got to do his clients, they were easy to just say, well, he's not there, you could do my hair, I could have her. So that's my beginning of a start. And of course, word of mouth. Recommendation has been the build-up of my business.
So you started at a local salon in Chicago. Walk me through the kind of the career trajectory.
My sister and her husband opened up a salon in Hoffman Estate.
Awesome, okay.
And asked me if I would come and help them out with that. And I've been in this area between Schaumburg and Hoffman Estate for the last 45 years.
It was the right fit at the right time.
Yeah, the right time, absolutely. We got to move in a different location again in the same area. I approached my brother-in-law and suggested, hey, we're looking for a new place, so what if I become a partner in this business? And that's how we became partner at Image Designer in Schaumburg.
Did you always have that ambition?
I've always hoped to become more than just an employee, because I was kind of quiet and not very aggressive. I just stood in the back, and I was always the one that was very busy behind the chair. because my brother-in-law at the time didn't want to start out fresh again. He would do the payroll, he would do the ordering of the products, and it kind of balanced it off. I was learning how we did the weekly payroll. I was learning how, paying the bills for your electric, insurance for the salon. I was still very busy behind the chair, so it created a lot more work for me. We were there 15, 16 years. I probably would have stuck to it if it wasn't that COVID hit. We were shut down for 3 months. It kind of really blew me back. I was a little disappointed when the time came that here I am. I finally have the place to myself, but I'm going to have to make a decision to let go. But it let go a lot of the stress involved.
There's significantly less overhead, there's less pressure, there's less stress.
Still independent, still running my own business. I still have my own clients, but I was able to come into Ph Salon and share the space with people here, which I was grateful that the opportunity was there. I've built up a pretty good business that when I'm here, I'm pretty much booked up.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as long as I pleased my clients, I'll clean my place, my spot, and I'm gone. It just truly simplified my life, which is giving me a lot more time to myself, is priceless. So,
of course. Obviously, your main service that you offer is hairstyling and developing relationships with people. You're almost, in a sense, a psychologist too. You're connecting with people on a deeper level and asking them about their day. There's an intimacy to it. Would you mind chatting about how that has been an instrumental part of what you do?
I think part of it is people feel very comfortable when they sit in our chair. Maybe because we're washing their hair and we're touching their heads, or because the relationship after a while that you build up with them, getting to know about them, their family, and
people bring their walls down and you're able to just connect with them on a deeper level.
And I think
even though it's just a haircut.
Yeah, but we're good listeners. I think that has something to do with it. I've been to a seminar and where we had a speaker come up, and he was a psychiatrist married to a hairdresser, and he said, I didn't know any professional that someone stranger could come into your room, sit on your chair, and you could put your hands on their shoulder and touch them, and them feeling so comfortable. I feel very fortunate that I could be part of someone's life that way. Sometimes I have a hard time calling them customers because I've known these people from 40 years, or I've known generation of the family. I've seen my young man, yourself, and then all of a sudden they come in and they have their little son.
I'm still a kid at heart.
You are, but I'm just, to me, I feel like we're so lucky when it comes to that. When a client of mine that I've known comes in and there's something not going right in their family or for them, I could tell that there's something. And sometimes people just need to talk. They just need someone to listen to. By the time I'm done with them, you can see their demeanor is different. They feel better, they look better. I've done my job. It's a great gift. Sometimes people say, well, you're like a bartender, we could talk to you about anything. That is probably one of the biggest highlight of my job. And I'm glad that I'm able to sometimes bring some peace and happiness to whatever it's happening, in their daily life.
After all these years, how large is your client base? Have you built up maybe 200 plus folks?
I say probably that, if not maybe a little more, because I could probably, on my very busy day, I could do anywhere between 10 to 15 people a day. I have people that have traveled, people that have moved out of state, and they make their appointments when they come in to visit family.
No way.
I still do a client of mine that she was my very first client since I was a hairdresser.
Yeah.
I was 17 and she was 19, and I still see her to do her hair once a month, and I consider them part of my life. I mean, they know what my life has been like. I've known what their life has been through. They're just a journey of friendship and stories and different hairstyles. I have a client that brought me in. She's a teacher, and they always do teachers' pictures, and through the years she's brought me in all the different yearly picture that she's had of how the hairstylist changed every year for 30 years since she retired, so that's what makes my work special. How many lives have I touched? How could I make someone feel better and look better? From a job interview to a wedding, a special event, prom,
from a personal standpoint, I'm sure it's exhausting after a long day, and then you have to reset, head home, balance that with your own personal life.
There's been time where you walk out of here and you say to yourself, what's wrong with me? Why am I so down? Why is my energy so gone? And then you realize that a lot of people sat in your chair, had all this sad stuff happening, and you kind of weights on your shoulder. You know, people pray for a lot of stuff. I always think if God gives me health, I could conquer anything. Strong faith, so that sometimes helps.
Listening to other people's stories, sometimes their hardships, you're filling their cup, and sometimes your cup is empty. You have to recenter yourself. After knowing you for a long time, you've been doing this journey solo for quite a bit, and you recently got married. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
And how has that kind of shifted your perspective, added more light into your life for work and everything else?
Thank you. It's always nice to have someone else that you could maybe go home to. I mean, at this point in my life, I did not anticipate to be where I'm at when it comes to my personal relationship.
Sure.
But here I am, and it's been wonderful. They're just getting used to my schedule. I have a little bit of a thing where it's like, okay, now, you know, I'm going to work, but I won't be home for dinner.
So it's your client's fault.
Well, no, I don't say that. It's my work. It's, you know, I don't have a 9-to-5 job.
It's their fault.
Know? So, yeah. And I still look forward to come back the next day, and I reflect a little bit of what was I able to do that day for someone. You know, that everybody walked out of there feeling happy what their hair looked like. That's important to me. John will say, how was your day? I said, well, everybody liked their hair. I guess it was a good day.
You're building people's images, and for someone just starting out, whether it's working at a salon, looking to get certified and start their journey, do you have any tips, advice, recommendation?
You're building up a community. I still enjoy learning any concept, not just being a colorist or not just being a hair cutter. You know, I like to just kind of watch my client change from the beginning to an end. So my recommendation is stick to it. It is worth the journey.
So I cannot thank you enough for your time today. For anyone that needs a new hairstylist, how can they reach out to you?
My name is Lena Falco at Ph Salon in Schaumburg, Illinois.
Lena, you are an absolute gem and like one of the sweetest people in our community. Appreciate your time. Folks, that does it for another episode of The Locals, but you know what to do. In order to build this community and to lift each other up, hit that subscribe button. It is free and it takes 2 seconds to do. Hit subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you. Really appreciate it.